Now that President Biden has met with Israeli and Palestinian leadership, his next meetings are with the Saudi heads of state as well as other GCC leaders today. And we're joined by senior advisor at Kroll and professor at New York University, Dr. Ephraim Khalamish. Thanks so much for joining us. Now, Saudi announced it's opening its airspace to all carriers, and this, of course, includes Israel. Is this a step towards building economic ties?
Thank you for having me, Ramya. It's very exciting to be in the Middle East this week. So first of all, yes, absolutely. This is the first step, and there are a couple of reasons why I think the Saudi decided to start that way. First of all, it's a step-by-step kind of approach. It's a good way to start. Secondly, it's one of those things that the region really cares about. I can tell you that many Israeli companies and Israeli individuals are really interested in having shorter flights in the region, and the fact that you can fly over Saudi Arabia makes certain flights a little bit easier, especially when you fly east towards India, Thailand, and other countries in Asia. And also it's a way for the Saudis to show the world and the region that they care a lot also about the Palestinian and the Arab community in the region in general, because it will allow Arabs to participate in various religious ceremonies in Saudi Arabia over the next couple of years, which obviously strengthens the role of Saudi Arabia in the region as a regional player.
Absolutely. So many pros there. And some analysts think that Saudi will commit to boosting oil production during today's meeting. Let's talk a little bit about these meetings. What do you anticipate will happen? Do you anticipate that they will commit to boosting production?
Sure. So there is no doubt, Ramya, that one of the main reasons why President Biden decided to visit Saudi as well after visiting Israel is also to make sure that there is a strong message about increasing production in the region, not only in Saudi Arabia, but actually with other Arab countries in the region. And that's, by the way, one of the reasons the meetings are not only with the Saudis, but also with other GCC and other countries in the region. It's important for the American people, it's important for global citizens, and it's important for the region. Having said that, most analysts understand that both Saudi and UAE are almost in full capacity when it comes to oil and gas production. So even if they increase their production a little bit as a result of these meeting, and there will probably be an announcement on that, the reality is that it will not have a significant impact on the price of oil. The fact is that what we've seen over the last couple of months in terms of price shock has been driven by many other factors worldwide. Having said that, what we've seen, especially in the United States, is over the last couple of weeks is a decline in the price of oil, the decline in the price of gasoline. I think demand is going down as a result of various economic factors in the region, plus the fact that the US president did release certain oil supplies. So I think, bottom line, we will see a positive sentiment on market. We will see a continuation of this kind of trend. But I think midterm to long term, we will have to focus on new sources of oil and gas supplies.
So a boost to sentiment, but no significant impact on the market. And let's talk about the meetings with other GCC leaders who will be present today. Will we see strengthening of economic or trade ties that come of these meetings with GCC leaders besides Saudi Arabia?
Absolutely. So one of the things that President Biden showed the Saudis over the last couple of weeks before the official visit, and actually he re-emphasized that when he visited Israel, was that there are already quite deep economic relationships between the Saudis and Israelis over the last couple of years. So basically, in a similar way to the Abraham Accords and the UAE-Israel agreement, the fact that there were certain things happening behind the scene, it helped to accelerate, to facilitate the formal agreements. I think same here. I think the participants in these various meetings, they know that what we see now is just a result of economic interest, economic agreements over the last couple of years. The only difference is that what we've seen over the last couple of years behind closed doors may be more transparent now. And the fact, as you said yourself, the fact that you have other GCC countries around the table will help to facilitate other trade and investment agreements between Saudi and other regional Arab players, but also at the same time between Saudi and new Arab countries and Israel. And by the way, the Israeli Prime Minister focused on his remarks with President Biden just 2 days ago about the fact that you can actually build a food corridor and an energy corridor between major Asian players like India, Gulf states, Israel, and the rest of the Middle East, if you can actually focus on bringing new technologies in these subsectors to the region.
So many opportunities there, and President Biden held economic talks with Mahmoud Abbas earlier as well. What exactly do you think they were discussing?
Sure. I think it was very important for President Abbas and the PA more generally to make sure that economic support will continue. So this direct support from United States has been going on for many years. For all types of reasons, we saw impact on this kind of economic support over the last couple of years because of internal political issues within Abbas government. I think what President Abbas and President Biden will discuss is ways to improve economic support to various Palestinian projects. I can just share with you that Israel has tried to do its best to find more and more projects which bring regional players to the region to make sure that the Israelis are working with the Palestinians and other Arab countries together, supported by U.S. Financial support, to make sure that the Palestinians gain also economic gains as a result of this process.
We hope so. Dr. Ifram Khalimesh, Senior Advisor at Kroll and Professor at New York University, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.